Hello, I'm Mikey, and
Amy.
this is Mike and
Amy.
Pop Culture Corner.
Hi, we're back with another episode. So Mike is gonna start explaining more of it to you.
But before I start explaining, make sure you like and subscribe.
And don't
And-
forget to ring the bell.
What she said. Today's topic is going to be about another movie franchise. Friday the 13th.
Alright, so let's do it.
Well, Amers, what is your favorite Friday the 13th?
I think we should just rank them. This is in my order though.
Then we'll get to my question.
So I like the first four in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4 was in the order, but actually number 6 was my 5th favorite, and the 5th was my 6th. 7, 8, 9 are all in order, and then the 10th favorite was the 2009. Then the 11th favorite was Jason Goes to Hell, and the 12th, there might have been 12 to 13. Sorry. Then it goes Freddy vs. Jason, and my last favorite actually was Jason X.
I think you're forgetting the Killer Cut.
Killer Cut. Well, I was just talking about in general. What is my favorite in the lineup? Like, because the first four are definitely my most top favorites. Even though my favorite Jason is Kane Hodder.
He's awesome.
So now I need to get you some facts here. Or we could talk about each character too and the facts.
Well, we can do my question.
Go ahead.
What is your favorite Friday 13th?
I kind of just told you in order.
No. Your favorite one. Not just the rankings.
You know, honestly, I can't really say, but in a ranking order. But I don't know. I used to say 4, but I kind of want to say 1. I honestly, that's actually a harder one for me. So, I'm going to have to say in our ranking orders how I like them, because I like them all. Now, I had a least favorite. I wasn't like, I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, because he's like my second favorite guy in the 4 franchise. So, you got, if you could say it, but me, that's a little hard for me to do.
Well, my favorite is this easy one. Freddy vs. Jason. Just because it's got my guy, Freddy Krueger. Who's played by Robert Englund. One of my favorite actors. Then, I'll say number 1. Number 2. I like number 2 because it's got that funky music.
You mean number 3?
No, it was 2.
Are you sure?
Oh, what's the 3?
It was 3.
Oh, 3. 3, I like the funky music, yes. I was mistaken. But that's okay. And I like 4 because it's got Corey Feldman. You know, he starred in Goonies. One of my favorite movies, which we'll talk about on another episode. And no, I love number 8. 8 is awesome. Especially since they went to New York. And then I guess I don't have a least favorite. They're all pretty good. Betsy Palmer is a great actress. I'm starting to wonder, maybe they missed the boat with her, and maybe you could have done it, kept going with her instead of making Jason. What do you think, hon?
Well, That's actually interesting when you bring that up, because I was actually going to bring that up after we went through the characters, you know, because there's so much to cover, too. So there's actually so much to cover, you know. I think so, because actually the interesting fact that I found out about that was, they don't think Jason should have been the killer, since he was actually the victim who drowned. It was the mom that started the whole killing, which I'm like, I agree, but I don't agree. I do like the whole Jason thing, because it's what made the movies, I think. But, you know, everybody has a different opinion, which is great, because I like hearing different opinions. But I think, or some people like they could have been a duo, which I think I like that better. But then I would have liked the mom idea, but that's interesting that you brought that part up, you know. So, so I'm gonna try to do these characters, like, you know, because I had to add some interesting facts in them. Because, like, Betsy Palmer, who we were just talking about, like, and Kevin Bacon, he was, you know, and that's another interesting fact. It was mostly known that he was supposed to be the biggest name in the film, but actually he was not at the time of filming, which is Bing Crosby's son, Harry Crosby, was actually supposed to be the biggest name. So that was another interesting fact. And, you know, and, this one I've heard before about Adrienne King, who played Alice, which I wish she could have been the sole survivor again in part 2. But don't get me wrong, I do like Amy Steele, though. Jenny? What, hon?
I'm just listening what you got to say.
So I'm trying to do this. I feel like... Hold on. Maybe I should, sorry. So... And then Robbie Morgan, who played Annie, I really wish she could have had more airtime. I just wish that could have been more potential right there, I think.
I think she got treated like Sandy Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish my Adrienne King thought.
Ooh.
You know, and the reason why she didn't play in part 2 long as she asked for a shorter time, but she actually did not ask to be killed off. I think that wasn't supposed to be part of the original plan. But they, I guess, decided, because someone said that her managers asked for more money, but actually she said that's a rumor. She don't even know how that started. So that's really, and then another fact I heard about that is when Jason did the ice pick to her temple, they actually said the guy that did that actually messed up, and she was screaming in real pain. I was like, ouch. And Janine Taylor, who played Marcy, I thought she had an incredible part in the movie. I liked her character a lot. And then, you know, Harry Crosby, who played Bill. Remember when they had him up on the door and it looked like where his eyes were shut and the blood and everything? They actually said that got in his eyes and he was temporarily blind and had to get treated by a medical facility, from what I was reading. And then, you know, Lori Bartram, Brenda, God rest her soul, I wish she was here with us. She had a great role. And Ned, oh, he's wanting to... I knew he was crazy about her in the movie. I think that was a cute pair, you know. I just wish she could have been in the movie a little longer. Which, you know, I know she lasted longer than, was it Marcy? And then Ari Lehman. Sorry if I don't get some of these names right. It's just, some of these names are hard to pronounce. But,
it's okay.
The first ever Jason, Kid Jason, remember when he came up out of that water and got Alice at the end? See, I want to say Allison. So, sorry, I'm trying to, well, Barney Crazy Ralph, who was in the first 2. I hate it when he got killed off. He was just, they called him the town crazy. That was really, Officer Dorf, was it? Remember when he came out and he was looking for Ralph? I mean, that was a short part. And then you got Steve Christie, who was trying to reopen the camp after all that stuff. And then the truck driver, I liked his good deed that he did for Annie, but I just wish, I wish, he tried to warn her, and I wish she would have listened to him. But,
she was high strung.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get us in the frame a little better. So, and you had Barry and Claudette, who the two people you see in the beginning get ready to have sex, but then Mrs. Voorhees, well, at the time was an unknown figure. God, I was like, wow, I even wish they could have been in the film a little longer. And then you had Trudy, who was like, the diner person, or the truck driver, because I guess she kind of offered for the truck driver to take Annie where she needed to go. And I thought that part with the dog was really cute in the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry if I seem like I'm going really fast. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. So I even had notes written, so I'm going all from my notes too. And then Sandy, I thought that old boy. Sandy, I thought she was a cute character in the movie, because that's the one, where was it, she was giving Steve Christie something, like, just owe me out a night on the town. He's like, no, really, told her to keep the change. I thought that was a really cute moment in the film. And there was some guys showing Rob Morgan, but I don't remember seeing him in that. But just like they said, that scare at the end of one, they said that was actually not in the original script. And it was like, this film could have turned out very differently. Like, Betsy Palmer was not even their original pick. There was like other list of actresses, but a couple of them were Oscar winners, and they all opted out. Eventually they ended up with Betsy Palmer, which, good choice, by the way.
Great choice.
I love it. And she actually accepted the part to buy a new car, because she also said if she didn't need a new car, she probably would not accept the role. I was like, interesting. I was like, I'm glad she accepted the part, though, because I don't think the film wouldn't have been what it was without her. But, everybody has different opinions,
Right.
And then, I probably could have just read off of that. But, like, Friday the 13th Part 2 cast. Yeah, and there was some interesting facts in that one, too, actually. Friday the... Hold on, you're pushing on me. But there was just a ton of interest. Why you... It's such a good fault. Friday the 13th cast. Here we are. Sorry. Having a little bit of malfunctions here. Our ultimate soul survivor, Amy Steele, Jenny. I loved her. I wish she would have went on to 3, but she decided not to do it, because they were talking about she was going to be like in some psychiatric unit, and Jason would have killed all these people and got to her. I love her. I love Amy Steele's work. She also, the guy that was in 4, that got with that virgin who did the shower scene, she actually talked, I think it's Peter Barton, she talked him into getting in that role.
Wow.
And also, I found out Corey Feldman wanted to do Friday the 13th more than Goonies, actually. There was that Marta Kober. Some people thought she was the hottest girl, or Terry. In my opinion, I thought Jenny was the prettiest, but I do like that Marta Kober. She played in some other horror films. I love her work. Adrienne King and Alice had the shortest part, and they were even talking about when you see the legs of Jason walking towards Alice's house, the only woman, it was actually somebody named Ellen, who was their costume designer, the only woman in the franchise to ever get to play Jason.
Wow.
And then John for Ray, who played Paul, they said he actually walked off in protest. And, because they never knew about whatever happened to Paul. Because it's like he was done filming by then. Then you had Terry, and I remember the guy Scott who was chasing around the girl with the dog. The dog was just adorable. And Terry, and then Vicky, that was the one that liked, what was his name, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was, I think, the guy she liked that was in the wheelchair, and they were playing these little games. I thought that was a cute pair.
Definitely.
And, they definitely said he had the most brutal kill in the franchise at that part. There was a lot of stuff, and it was nice to see Betsy Palmer reprise her role. And if I missed anything, we will definitely talk about these again in the future. That's why I try to take notes. But the Marta, which was Sandra, which her brother Rob ends up in part 4. And they even talked about when he was getting killed by Jason, he's killing me. They said that was based off a real life incident. I didn't get to read more into that. But I remember Jeff, Sandra, and Ted, those 3 that went out together on part 2 to drive out there. And he pulled that prank, had Jeff's truck like it was being towed.
Yeah, not funny.
And they had extra counselors. There was a couple different. Jason Voorhees in this one. Maxwell, who was the guy that towed the truck, he was in it. There's some other guy named Winslow something. I am not sure, but I remember the cop in that. He was wow.
Yeah.
And I hated to see Crazy Ralph, not survive that part, Because, I guess they feel like in every movie there's got to be a town crazy.
I didn't like him.
Why not?
I thought he was annoying.
Well, yeah, I think that was the point of his character. But, let's see. And then part 3, this is interesting. Dina Kimmel, which is Chris. Her boyfriend was Rick. Boy, that was a terrible scene right there. They were talking about in one part, they were thinking about having her head chopped, which I'm glad she ended up living.
Yeah.
Because, it's always nice to have a final girl or even have a final boy if that's what they made it to be. But then there was, another Jason. It was like a lot of these characters did not come back, when they played one. But then there was that one couple, what was their names? There was Chuck and Chili, the guys that like to smoke the pot a lot. And then Vera was supposed to go out with Shelly, which an interesting fact about that guy was Larry Zerner, something like that.
I think so.
He wasn't even a professional actor, and they just picked him off the street because he was handing out flyers.
That's interesting.
And then just like Debbie, because she was going out with a guy named Andy, that was the couple, and she was pregnant, and she was reading the Fangoria magazine in that hammock. And remember when they did her kill scene? That was actually paying homage to the Kevin Bacon scene in part 1. And Edna, I'm trying to figure out what that was. But I wonder if it was that couple in the beginning, when that couple owned that store and he was holding that rabbit, drinking that juice, and put all that stuff back. I'm like, dude, no, I hope you ain't selling that to the customers.
Yeah, that was nasty.
And then, you had the motorcycle game. What was it? Fox, Ali, and I'm trying to figure out the other guy's name. I'm looking them up. I think Mrs. Sanchez was supposed to be Vera's mom. They had a couple state troopers in here, and some of the cast, when they go back and look,
Right.
So, yeah, that was... And the cashier, you remember the cashier in it with that motorcycle gang, and, yeah. trying to even find that guy's name. Surprised they don't got him mentioned in this list. Cause see, I like to Google a lot of it. Well, I was gonna say Google things, and then there may be a lot more stuff. I may have to do. We may have to do another video in the future just to cover on all the facts that I figured out. Then you got part 4, which we already know one main character, which is Corey Feldman. The introduction of Tommy Jarvis. Actually, with him being in that movie, because they said something outside of breastfeeding, when he saw the twins and all their private parts and boobs and all that, they actually said it's the first time Corey Feldman's ever seen a naked woman. Well, naked woman, period, but... And then the girl that played his sister and the guy that was her love interest, since they were filming around the time of Halloween, they got to take Corey Feldman trick-or-treating. I was like, how cool is that? And then also like a deleted scene that I actually watched last night. What was it? Trish found her mom in the bathtub, and she was already gone.
Oh no!
And I guess Jason was behind the door, and he came down, so you didn't see. But I'm glad she lived too, because I think they were trying to get her to come back for the 5th one, but it was like a lot of these characters did a one and done deal,
Right.
So. And the twins, there was another interesting fact behind that story of all these auditions and stuff. The one, Camilla Moore, was actually auditioning. They said, we're trying to find your application. And they're like, do you have a twin sister? Twin sisters? Like, matter of fact, I do. And they've done a lot of work together. So this was all, like, really cool facts that I found out about the franchise and stuff. So if you got anything to say, Michael, go ahead.
Wow. That was a mouthful.
Oh, I still have
great
more.
Information.
Oh, I still have more, trust me.
Yeah, she's got a lot more, folks. She's looking it up right now.
Well, actually, that Crispin Glover part where he made that weird dancing, they said he's actually as weird as he was on there. So I guess they're saying he's kind of a weird person in real life. I don't know. I thought he was a cool person, though.
Yeah, I thought he's cool.
But that's a franchise.
I know, it is a great franchise and a lot of interesting people. But unfortunately, they had to keep changing a lot of cast. Because a lot of them didn't want to come back after doing one movie. It was kind of cursed. But I was just thinking, Amers, we've met a few people from these Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, yes.
Who are some of your favorites?
Oh, yeah. Hands down, Kane Hodder. We met Corey Feldman. We met Marcy. We met Vicky. I think that's the only one. Oh, was it Deborah Voorhees? The girl that was in part 5 that had the sex scene with her boyfriend. And actually, it was supposed to be a 3-minute scene. And they decided to cut it down to 10 seconds because MPAA they said it was just, maybe it was just going to be too, it was going to be too X-rated or something, but they wanted to keep that from happening. And the guy that was on the motorcycle part 5, I think they said he didn't even realize he was in the movie, and then his mom, something about they stole her wig or something. I didn't really get a chance to go more into that, but it's just like some of this I still gotta read on.
Yeah.
But I do know Kane Hodder, I think, played at least in 4 or 5 parts of Jason. He is definitely the most recognizable Jason. A lot of people's favorite, he is the Jason. Well, that's a lot of people's opinion anyway.
I know why I like him. One simple reason.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Kane Hodder did that during a photo op we did with him. Very playful, very nice. So we got like 2 different photos of that. One where we took a normal picture, and the one where we did that. I definitely would meet him 100 times over again. Like I said, because then I think a lot of people's least favorite was part 5, the new beginning, because first, a lot of people's like, what is the new beginning, or even the new blood, or different things, and because it wasn't like the Jason, and I mean, I still liked that. I think a lot of people thought that Pam chick was beautiful, and little Reggie, his grandpa, oh man, and that male counselor's like, oh man, I love these characters. Why did you have to kill them all? Just like, what was it, his brother and his girlfriend living in that trailer park? Oh, that was, wow. It's like, it was something else, this film was. And then, 6, like, they couldn't even keep none of their Tommies. It's like they all did this one and done and left. And then, and then Jason Lives, which the girl where her Megan and her dad, actually come to find out, the guy that played her dad is actually her real life acting coach. And that was I think the first time they said they featured children in the movie. There. So that was another interesting one. It was just like it had up to like 3 Tommies.
What about the girl that put the axe to my head?
Oh, you're talking about Marcy. Because,
Yeah, she put an axe to my head.
Yeah, actually, originally, I wanted to do that, but she said I was too cute to have an axe to my head, so.
So I didn't.
But, like, even when we talked to Vicky, when we met her, she was telling us she was, like, from the Ohio area. I was like, oh, how neat.
Yeah.
And she told us about stories, like, off the record, talking about, like, the boys would try to come out and spook them, and they would try to get the boys back. That was nice to hear stories like that. Then you had 7. They were calling it, like, Jason meets Carrie, Carrie. They had telekinesis in Carrie. So they were kind of calling Tina, like, the Carrie. And they were actually wanting to do a second part of that, which ended up becoming Jason Takes Manhattan. I probably would have loved to have seen a part 2 of the Carrie. Then they could have done the Manhattan thing, but still, I like all of them, so,
Yeah, I love part 8. One of the better ones.
But I mean, the telekinesis girl, that was pretty cool, and that Melissa girl, oh, I did not like her. And then how she did that guy. And then there was some really neat characters in there. It was just like, that's what I'm saying, there's so many of them. Probably because, Jason characters seem like they had a lot more characters to cover. So like I said, we're definitely probably going to have to do another video on that one another time.
Yeah.
But, in Manhattan, that girl from Saved by the Bell, which is Jessie Spano, was actually supposed to be the girl, was it Granny?
Yeah.
That would have been a different, it's like, think these films could have definitely been so different than what we got to see, but I still like the outtakes from them, but honestly, it would be nice if they could have made 2 different versions with different people. I would have liked to have seen the alternate of the products too, but I like watching the deleted scenes. It's kind of cool because we don't get to see the stuff. So, got anything to say?
Well, Amers, I got a question.
What?
Now, the music on part 8, what did you think of the theme song that they picked for it?
That's a cool song, but I definitely like part 3, that party music. That party music sound.
Just makes you want to dance.
Yeah, but part 8 had like a rock and roll sound to it.
Yeah,
which
is almost like a heavy metal.
Mm-hmm. So and then Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, it was a good movie. kind of weird, but because like when these people are, especially that guy that ate Jason's heart and his spirit, it was just kind of, it had some weird parts to it.
But I like the end.
But when you see or Freddy, see, hold on, when you see Freddy's hand come up, it's like an indication, like, what is coming next, you know?
And then we had to wait a long time.
And then you had, was Jason X next, I think? Or was Freddy versus Jason next? It had to have been one of those.
Well, I'm not sure.
But those were good too. But
I like Freddy versus Jason.
And it was nice to see Kelly Rowland in that one.
Yeah.
Beyonce's cousin.
Who is a good singer in her own right.
Uh-huh. Very good, especially that song she did with Nelly.
It's called Dilemma.
And then we had Jason X, which some reason they're calling that Uber Jason. I think that's very interesting. And then you had 2009 Friday 13th.
Yeah.
And then your favorite part, talking about that girl's boobs being stupendous.
Oh yeah. This jerk. It was his dad's cabin. And I don't think it was his girlfriend. Or was it? I don't think it was his girlfriend, but it was somebody's girl. And they were being intimate, and all he kept saying was, "Your tits are stupendous." And I just found that to be really funny. Like, who says that in a moment like that?
And I thought he was wrong here. He had another girlfriend. He was just like a total jerk to his girlfriend and cheated on her with their friend. Like, yeah. Like, you are just a jerk, dude. I hated his character. And might have been a good looking guy, but he did not have the personality. He did not know how to treat women right. I love when she met that other guy.
Yeah, but people got happy when Jason got him.
Yeah, and but I like that guy she met. Like I was getting ready to say, he was played by Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, he was kind of like a drifter.
But he was actually the good guy, the heroic one. He got to save his sister, who was played by Amanda Rigetti or something. And you know, I know her from other things she's done. First thing I've ever seen her do was like something with Jason Momoa. But he's going to be a subject for another time, because I think he's a subject on its own. But
yeah, Amy have a lot to say about that.
And so you know, this has been like my second favorite franchise.
For me, it's my third.
You know, so Jason's been played by many people, but I think people recognize the one guy the most, and he's played it best. But I could probably try and find some facts. Like, you want to say something, see what I missed.
But in Freddy vs. Jason, yes, I do like Kelly Rowland as a singer, but her character, she wasn't very nice. I thought she was mean to that young boy. That he had a crush on her, and she kind of turned him down quite a bit. Yeah, not a very nice character in that movie. So I liked it when Jason came up behind her, and Freddy is just like, "Look behind you."
But there's another one, like they say from the first one, for filming, you know, that's still optional. They still use that as a filming location today. And you know, and actually Friday 13th was not even supposed to go on have all these sequels, because I guess Sean Cunningham, He said he did not like, from I guess I was reading, but things. I'm not sure how how the other directors felt, but they were talking about Sean Cunningham in a article saying he did not even watch. He has never seen any of the sequels. Now, if he's watched it since that sequel came out, I don't know, but he did not even like the idea of Jason's mother being the killer, because they actually wanted to keep Jason the victim since he's the one that drowned. They said his mom was the ultimate killer, and and he just didn't like what they did with the franchise. But he, hold on, sorry, that's sometimes I get distracted with that. So basically, they did not even want Jason to be a killer. But they end up turning him the villain, though. And it's like, well, because remember what Alice did in part 1, pretty much chopped her head off. Clean cut off. And, I remember somebody saying they treated that like a WWE scene. It was that brawl-out fight they had in the mud and everything. So it was something.
Yeah, there's nobody to referee it.
Oh, they didn't need a referee.
I would have been glad to do it.
But the screenwriter Victor Miller admits that Friday the 13th was essentially a shameless knockoff from Halloween, because they actually did get some of their inspiration from Halloween, just like they feel like when Jason had that potato sack thing over him, they think they got that off of one movie where that scary movie, Town something, or I know it was a scary movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And there was another thing they did, and they kept accusing Friday the 13th people ripping off the other ones. But Friday the 13th was originally not supposed to be called Friday the 13th. It was going to be Long Night at Camp Blood, but they decided to change it. And it was supposed to be an anthology. It was not supposed to continue on the way it did. And then, they actually met while here. So, they were talking about how they met, and they just ripped, I guess got actually ideas off of other films, as their inspiration. And the movie was shot at Camp No Bosco in Blairstown, New Jersey. It's still an active Boy Scout camp. You can visit its official site, which I would like to check that out. And it looks like they said director Sean S. Cunningham previously worked as a producer on Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left. So I guess they met. But despite there being an actual Friday 13th of June 1980, the date film is set. It just released a month earlier on May the 9th. Harry Crosby, who played Bill, was actually the son of famous Bing Crosby. Many felt this was taking Halloween connection farther, as they had cased Jamie Lee Curtis, the daughter of famous parent Janet Leigh. While most of the cast and crew stayed in local hotels during the shooting, Tom Savini and his assistant Testo in something with an S stayed on the campground itself, even watching horror movies after hours on VCR that Savini brought. Tom Savini sought out by the producers after they were really impressed with his makeup effects. So from what I heard, this guy is like really good with makeup effects. And
yeah, he is.
Sally Field originally auditioned for the role of Alice Hardy. I just now read it. Would have been cool to see her.
That would have been interesting.
There still remains a great deal of controversy surrounding the killing of a real snake in the movie. Not just because a real animal was killed on screen, but because it wasn't a wild animal. They found it. It had an owner who allegedly wasn't told that they would be killing it.
Oh no.
I just now found out, I was like, oh, tell me you didn't really just kill an animal for no reason.
That's sad.
Especially if it wasn't a wild animal. And you didn't tell the owner, though? But I'm reading, like, all this stuff that, I've been researching here. So I'm trying to save a lot of this because I knew I was going to pretty much run out of time. I mean, we are still going to go for a little bit here. I was just saying, I don't know if I'll be able to, hear anything. So, see, some of the stuff I'm just now reading to you, I'm just now finding out myself, too.
Yeah.
And then, what was this one? The iconic and that sound that Mikey's doing here. The effect soundtrack was made by composer Harry Manfredini himself got the idea of listening to the music. I do not notice it, who sadly passed away recently. And Janine Taylor Marcy still doesn't really consider it a horror movie. She claims it was really just a movie about carefree teenagers who got killed. I consider it a horror film, though, because it was still a scary situation, But Betsy Palmer famously hated the script and really only took the role because she needed a car. She also felt that no one would ever see it, so it would be fine. Now it's arguably her most famous role, which I agree. Because I think, I read her car broke down and everything. It's like, wow. But I thought she did a phenomenal job there. And for years at convention, Palmer would jokingly tell fans that she has no idea who the man in the hockey mask is, because as far as she is concerned, her son died in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like we all know Jason Voorhees, but here's a cute picture, I think.
Ooh.
I like this. Sorry about the glare. That's a really cute picture, I think, of them.
Yeah, it is.
And apparently other famous actors like Estelle Parsons and Shelley Winters were offered the role of Mrs. Voorhees before her, but declined because of the film's violence, which was quite shocking still in 1980. Yeah, this film came out in 1980, 2 years before I was born.
And 2 years after I was born.
Years before Betsy Palmer killed Robbie Martin, who was Annie, she appeared on stage with Morgan's brother in the production of Peter Pan. Allegedly, during one to take Ron Officer Dorf's motorcycle, he actually fell on him. Oh man, ouch.
Wow.
Hopefully he was okay after that. Was an Air Force veteran but wasn't experienced with motorcycles. The diner featured in the movie called Blairstown Diner is still very much open and active. You can visit. Hey, that might be an idea for us to go visit. Tom Savini claims the only reason for the iconic ending scene was he had recently seen Carrie and wanted to mimic the last second jump scare to the audience. Yeah, because like I was saying, that was originally not in the script at first.
No.
But because of the success of Halloween, there was a bidding for Friday the 13th between Paramount, who won, Warner Brothers, and United Artists. Paramount is a great production. I'm glad they won, so congratulations to you. Siskel, who hated it so much he even published Betsy Palmer's address. Somebody gave her address out of spite so they could send her hate mail.
Oh no.
And, in his reviews that people write her angry letters, which God rest her soul, great actress. She was phenomenal at her work. Nominated for the worst picture at Razzies, but lost to Can't Stop the Music. Critics may have hated it upon release, but fans love it. Friday the 13th was even ranked 31st on Bravo's 100 Scariest Moments. But look, here's the very first. That was Kid Jason that pulled Alice under the water. Ow, grown up. That's another one I'd like to meet. I would like to meet everybody as much as possible.
Come to Horror Hound, you celebrities.
But, so that was just some of the 40 facts on all that. First, I'm like, what are you doing?
Somebody try to interrupt our video. Not a good idea.
Trying to see what else.
Back to our regular programming.
So let's see what else we can find. Let's see what we can do about these 13 facts. Fun facts about Friday the 13th franchise. This is going to be cool.
Ooh.
The original film was actually being advertised before it even had funding. Ain't that something? Look, I think this, ain't that like a cool background there?
Yeah, it is.
The camp is still functional. I actually want to visit it. I need to definitely put that on our bucket list. And maybe one day if we go there, we could just feature it.
Bucket list.
Lou Reed entertained the original film crew. I think I heard he did that in his free time. Kevin Bacon's death scene actually took hours to film. The horror icon almost went under a different name, which I was talking about, like The Long Night at Camp Blood. Jason originally wasn't conceived. Jason originally was conceived. Alright, honey.
What are you trying to say, dear?
Jason wasn't originally conceived as a franchise star. I think, like I was saying, that was supposed to be Mrs. Voorhees as the original star.
She should have been.
But he still holds the title as the most prolific horror movie murderer of all time. Jason does.
I disagree.
Jason wasn't always deformed, which I've seen where he wasn't always deformed like in his movies. MTV gave Jason a Lifetime Achievement Award. See.
Should have been like a Death Time Achievement.
But, Jason's got a thing for blondes. It says, Friday the 13th, Alice Hardy, not me, dirty blonde Alice Hardy. Jenny Fields was blonde. Chris Higgins was a dirty blonde. You got Trish Jarvis, who was blonde. Pam Roberts was blonde. Megan Garris was blonde. Tina Shepard was blonde. And Jessica Kimball was blonde. And Lori Campbell. Yeah, all blondes. He must really do have a thing for blondes.
Maybe you're next, Amy Hayden.
I don't even think he knows I exist.
He sees.
Yeah, so let's see some other stuff. See, I'll always remember this was his first look with the potato sack thing.
I prefer the hockey mask.
A lot of people, but there's that guy that would sing to the cast and crew in his free time. So, see what other fun stuff we can find. See, I almost typed it wrong. Let's find this.
Time for final answer.
Hold on. We still got like, we're almost done, but just hold on a second. Oh, ain't that like cute? This little bag thing. But yeah, they're saying Camp Crystal Lake is a real place. I think it goes under a different name though, but I'm very interested to check this place out one day. Different actors who play the role of Jason Voorhees. They're talking about Ari Warrington, Richard, Ted, CJ, Kane Hodder, Ken, and Derek. So they're all the list of guys that played him.
Wow.
Throughout 12 movies, over 150 people were killed. Friday the 13th, 1980, and Friday the 13th, the beginning, Jason Voorhees doesn't kill anyone. Yeah, so the first and fifth one, Jason does not kill anybody. Jason doesn't wear a signature hockey mask until part 3, which that is his most iconic look, which is definitely my favorite look. Because everybody's like, what's up with that potato sack thing?
Yeah.
And a video game, I actually used to own a Super Nintendo, was it? I used to have that as a kid. I would play that. Jason got me every time though.
Mm.
Freddy vs. Jason has comic book series. I need to find that actually.
There's actually a newer game that came out a couple years ago. And it's got all the Jasons.
Nice.
And it's where you can either play as a camp counselor or as Jason.
Oh yeah. I will definitely, if I ever get a chance to play that game, which I hope we do, I'm gonna be in a camp counselor. I do not want to be Jason. You can be Jason.
Why gotta be me?
Because I volunteered you.
Maybe I don't want to be.
You will. You like Jason. Don't let him fool ya. He likes playing the bad guys on video games sometimes too.
Not me.
Oh yeah, so you know, if I had to pick my favorite non-final person, that's a hard one. You know, Marcy was pretty funny. And I liked Vicky. I liked Deb. Sarah from part 4. What's that one? Some of them I can't even think of their names. As like I said, there's so many characters.
A whole lot of characters.
That one girl that was having sex with her boyfriend, I can't think of her name though. And then I liked was it Lexi? You know, Cork, there was all kinds of them. Kevin Bacon's character.
Yeah.
Brenda. Mr. Christie is okay. Alice. I even know she was a final girl in one, but she was not a final girl in the next one.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many of them, like, to, you know, like I said, there's just too many to think of. And then, what's that one? There was a couple. Oh, Tina's mom. Mrs. Jarvis. Twins were kinda cool. Sam, Polly. That girl that was eating a banana. Who's the other ones? That girl, that was helping Rennie get on the boat.
Oh,
her
the
teacher.
Yeah.
So.
I did not like the rich girl in that movie.
And I did not like her uncle either.
Nah. But
Kinda
you
was
know
not
he
a
liked
nice
that
guy.
rich girl.
He was not a nice guy.
No. But you know when she was coming on to him, he was enjoying it. Don't let him fool you.
Wayne was cool. Roxy, what's that guy's name? He was a wrestler, but
Oh, he was a boxer.
he was cool. So, them are just to name some. I mean.
But I did enjoy when Jason got a hold of the drug dealers.
Yeah, I didn't like them.
Yeah, Jason got them pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Jason did something good. Even though it was a bad thing, but it turned out to be a good thing.
What they call those anti-heroes?
Yes. They do something good in spite of themselves.
Well, yeah. So, I just found that some of these facts were very interesting. It was just like some of them were shocking, some were like, huh, and some were like, oh, don't surprise me. But, so I hear that they're actually getting ready to come out with another Friday the 13th. It's supposed to be in 2023 or maybe 2024. I don't remember.
We shall see.
But,
keep your fingers crossed.
so hopefully, we'll get more information about that soon enough, and everything like that. So, alright. So, I don't know. Would you like to say anything else about the Friday the 13th franchise?
Well, since they're now under the same production company as the Nightmare on Elm Street, it's cool to see. I like to see more collaborations, more Freddy versus Jason, and hopefully eventually bring in some other horror icons into it as well.
I honestly would have liked to see Jason versus Michael Myers. I really would have loved to have seen that.
If there's anybody you would like to see in a Friday the 13th movie, put in the comments down below. We would like to hear from you.
Yes, and
Ooh, I got an idea for a movie.
Right.
And it involves almost all the horror icons, and new and old. How about if somehow Jigsaw from Saw got all the horror icons and do like a Saw type movie? Who would survive?
Very interesting concept.
Yes.
So, I would love to hear your rankings, your favorite characters you like, dislike, any facts that you may know that we missed or maybe I forgot to mention.
Or if anybody you met.
Yeah, or just your experience, or if he's your top, your least, the middle option that you like. We would love to hear all this in the
comments down below.
So yes, and keep hitting that like button, because we are very new at this, so I hope we're not boring you. But we try to come up with, well, I know you're not bored. So we're trying to come up with new subjects, so yeah, we'll definitely be back soon with another episode. What?
Also, by the way, if you've had any suggestions for future episodes that you'd like to see us talk about, put it down in the comments down below. Down there. That means you. Down there.
I think they get it, hon. So, yeah, so it was very interesting to find all these facts. There's probably more, but we're pretty much, I think, running out of time for today to do this. So we will definitely be back very soon. And would you like to do the Jason sound one more? So, yeah. But Jason, I was not expecting.
Just joking. Just joking.
I was not expecting that. So, yeah, so we appreciate you giving us a chance on here and talk about Jason. And I try to do my best. I feel like I missed some. I was like, I will definitely cover another segment of this again. Because I think next time it might be better just to talk about them one by one. At least the first time talk about them all together, and then just make one episode of each covering the topic, just so that one. I think that honestly would be easier in my opinion. So
it's a good opinion.
Yeah. So we're just starting out though.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're about to be signing off here any second now. Any last things, Michael?
Well, enjoy your time with your loved ones. Be kind to your neighbors. And don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Well, I don't know why you said it like that.
It's just the stuff on top of my head.
But well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and God bless you all, and We'll be back with more content very soon, and I hope you enjoy. And thanks for listening. And hope it wasn't too bad for you. Like I said, we're newbies at this, so we at least try to make an hour content. So, maybe eventually we'll expand or go down, but this is just at least to give worth your time. But thank you. Have a great day.
Until next time, this has been Mikey and
Amy.
For Mike and Amy's Pop Culture Corner.